Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Kahalal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Raha, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim pushing this word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathia from the GMS Dallas camp. And I wanted to go through this article here. This is on Google. This says, what is this? The N, the B, the C of Connecticut. It says here, we don't have a food shortage. We have a labor shortage. Empty owls blamed on the Voltron. Okay? Now, we see here that what it says is basically going into how the food shortage now. If you look it up or if you haven't heard, you have a mass job vacate. You're having a lot of employees are just saying, F it to their employers and quitting their jobs. I think they said over a certain period of time, within the past year, or a year or two, 5 million people. That's a good amount of the workforce. I ain't say a good amount of it, but that is a lot of people. All right, and you're only gonna see more. Even throwing these numbers out, it might be more than that. They may just give you what they want to give you. All right, but what happening is that's causing less work. You're having people that's being overworked due to they have to make a choice. A lot of them are having to make a choice. If I'm gonna receive this juice, or I'm just say F it and go home. Try to make a living, go, get a little unemployment or make a living trying to find something else to do that I won't have to be juiced up. This is a big reason. I ain't saying this is the only reason, but this is a very big reason. All right, that this is coming up. And when you go into how Jacob's trouble, like I say, things are kind of be getting ramped up. We only just begun. You know what I'm saying? And I'm and I'm gonna go ahead and read this article. Like I say, this came out on January 12th. All right. It says, you see the shells right there empty. It says up here, I can see shells. They're looking pretty bare. Said Cara Mackay, if I'm saying that correctly, of West Hartford. After a recent shopping trip to stop at the shop in Newington, it's a little alarming to think that we're short of so many food items this late into the pandemic. All right, so because like I say, we've been going. This happened, might as well say, right at the beginning of 2020. And here we are in 2022. All right, and like I said, we're still getting to this point. And like I said, we only have just begun. All right, what is it, like the carpenter? This coming, so we have to think. If you think about it, this is coming up into what? We're coming into the beginning of the end of Esau world and the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. All right, it says. Keep going. She noticed staples of like spaghetti sauce in short supply too. The chicken and pet food owls were also mostly bare, as was the baby owls. All right, so your baby gonna need, some women's definitely relying on Similac. You need your diapers. We don't know how to live without being an actual consumer. We don't know how to live for being someone that can build or make or create to cause a sustainable way of living. But that's why he said this is only the beginning of sorrows. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep reading. It says it was a little shocking. I thought we were over that, said Philip Anderson, and of New Britain. Empty shelves mean some shoppers are leaving empty handed. Outside the big Y in Shazir, Adrian Sparizi said she had to shop at 3 different stores to finish her trip. A lot of produce items will not be on the shelves. Even some of the basic home and beauty items I was unable to find, says Sparizi. Now you have these different items that people are accustomed to, and now they can't receive these items. Why? Because they can't have because their particular brand is out, so they have to go to another brand. Then from there, they have to go. If they find another brand, then eventually that's gonna go out, right? Like you said, you go to you get your basic home and beauty supplies. Like, oh man, where you don't got it in today? I'm sorry, I didn't see it at so and so store either. So this is the beginning, all right? This is the beginning of sorrows. This is the beginning of woes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get something here. This is Second Ezra 16, all right? And I'm gonna start at verse 17. It says, "Woe is me, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" And this is Esdras that has actually, the angel has let him see and gave him that vision to foresee what's going on today. And that brings forth what? Fear. That's what it says, woe. Woe means destruction. All right? And this is what Ezra is saying, like, oh man, this is destruction. What who is gonna deliver me in the days when these things really get bad and Jacob's trouble? All right, as that reference to Jacob's trouble is pursuant to Jeremiah 30 and 30, around the 7th verse. All right. Like it says, woe is me. Now, it said, who would deliver me in these days? And this is the days that are gonna that have to pass before you get to the kingdom of heaven. And these are just the days that we're starting to see. All right, into the weather and things like that. All right, into the fighting and the insurrection that's going to be caused, all the uprising that's going to be happening. Things are coming into into what you say into play. This is basically what's coming. Verse 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, and the beginning of famine and great death." So okay, it's gonna get great. Like you just had this fire that happened in this apartment that killed multiple people. I think it was like 7 to 9 people. All right, and that ain't gonna be the final thing. Like I said, it's gonna be great death. It's gonna continue. It's gonna be greater numbers. Things are gonna happen. Famine. People are gonna be passing away from famine, like you say, from the sword, from famine, all these things. Mourning. All right. So you gotta think. In verse 18, it says the beginning of sorrow. Sorrow is the first thing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds bad. Oh, you have my condolences. To mourning. Even the people that have a sorrow, then giving condolences will be mourning. Beginning of famine. You're gonna have less and less food at the table. That's gonna cause more and more aggression against families, against one another, and it's gonna cause what? Great death. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be trying to be out here to fight to survive, to live, and it's gonna cause great death. And we were already told these things. All right. The beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So what shall we do? That is the question. All right. And these evils are coming. And we see that it's mounting up. Let's get back to the article. It says a lot of produce items will not be on the shelves. Even some of the basic home. Okay, we read that, Salaki. I'm gonna go on up to down where it says the Katie Dennis here. Katie Dennis, the Vice President of Communication and Research for the Consumer Brands Association, a trade association that represents many of the products we're having trouble finding in the store right now, says the Voltron variant is wiping out the workforce. We don't have a food shortage, we have a labor shortage, Dennis explained. There is just hiccup across the single link in the chain and it is hard to overcome no matter where you're located. That's exactly what's happening in the Big Y in Shazir. All right. So this is what's coming. We might as well finish it out. It said the companies can't get drivers to drive and supplies or the product to the warehouse to get to it to the store, to our stores, said Melissa Zoni, the store managers. Day by day, hour by hour, we do not know what we're going to get from our warehouse, she explained. So, like I said, you don't know what you're going to get because you may have a driver there, then he may not be there. Like I said, because there's people, a lot of people are getting sick now. But like I say, is it a lot of death being put on this right now? You're not seeing it, but they're saying it's so contagious. All right. But the thing is, the devil, he is basically out to wipe out the majority of the world. All right. And that's Esau. He's looking to take out the majority. All right. Georgia Gaston, there's 8 billion people on the world and they want to get it to 500 million. All right. But like I said, that's let you know that the times we're in. All right. Measure the time diligently. As it says in second Ezra is 9. All right. We got to look. All right. Think about the time about the beginning of the kingdom of on earth, the kingdom of heaven I'm referring to. If you sit there and rewind the time, all right, now based on the scriptures, all right, based on the Bible, you can see that we're going, if you just go backwards, you can see, hey, if you got the kingdom of heaven on earth, then from there, if you rewind, then you have what? You have you have the destruction, okay, that's going to be brought forth by what? The chariots. All right. All right. During the time between that, you're gonna have the missiles going off. You're gonna have the deliverance of the elect. Okay. Even before that, like you say, we're gonna go through those the pestilence, the famine, the great death, the mourning. All this is gonna be happening, and like you say, then you get into the beginning of the wars. So that's like a rewind. All right. But like I say, the kingdom of heaven will be established on earth. Yahweh Shai provided that timeline to us to go by, right? Through the scriptures. Okay? And we can reference it from the Old Testament all the way to the New. And Yahweh Shai said, this is how it's going to be, you know what? This is, we're going to go ahead and get this here. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is Matthew 24. I'm going to start at verse 3. Because we're seeing a lot of store shelves, like you say, now you can change and go to a different brand, but eventually the brands are not going to be there. The supplies are not going to be there. And that's going to cause what? Hey, a high demand. Like you say, supply and demand, this is going to be just high demand. All right, so this is Matthew 24 and verse 3. And it reads, you know what? We're going to just start at we'll just start at the top. It says, and Yahweh went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the building of the temple. And Yahweh said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another. There shall not be one be thrown down. And like you say, what happened? We had the temple that was sacked. Okay, 70 A.D. The Romans came through. All right, so This is verse 3. It says, "And he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" So his disciples are saying, "Hey, when would the end of Esau's rulership end? We ready." That's what he's basically getting into, right? Because what we're seeing here as we look into the screen here, we're seeing that more and more famine is coming. All right, and it says, verse 4. Okay, it says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you." All right, and who is the deceiver? You go into Second Thessalonians. All right, Second Thessalonians 2, around the third verse, and it goes into the son of perdition. That is the man that said, "Let no man deceive you by any means." All right, because that son of perdition is who? The man that runs the world today. That wicked, that wicked man, the man that came, the man of sin, which is the devil. Know what the devil means? Deceiver, your adversary. Who is your adversary, Israel? Think about it. All right, it says, "Take heed and let no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, and that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right. So, like I say, we only just begun. Now these wars, rumors of wars that are going through, these proxy wars, these you know what I'm saying, these type of wars. Now we're getting like I say, through the trade wars, and now we're feeling the hot war. You have, and now the main players are starting to come to the table. All right, you got Russia, USA. You have, you know, those are big players. Like I say, you and Israel. Like I say, they're gonna be the one that's gonna be the one to bring everybody out, and everybody's setting up the for the war in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? You can read that in Joel. All right, so this is the time we're in. We only just begun now. When you look, like I said, Yahushua told us these things was gonna be. All right, that what he was telling the disciples. All right, he said, "For nations," verse 7, Matthew 24:7. He said, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." All right. "And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." This is where the point we're at now. And it's only gonna get worse. Like I said, it's gonna get so bad, like I said in day 12, at that time, Michael, the Chief Angel Michael shall stand up, all right? Like I said, he's Michael, you know, he's gonna have to stand up. And when I say chief, now you can't put him like they say up there with, like I said, with Yahweh Shai. All right, but Michael will have to stand up. He is a angelical force, right? It says back in the article, it says at Tops Marketplace in Southernton, chicken and pet food are hard to come by, according to the store manager, Janoline Giz, if I'm saying that correctly. She blamed her supply chain issue on that CV-19 related staffing shortages in their distributor's warehouse. All right, so you're gonna have famine. All right, the storehouses are gonna become empty. All right, that red horse. All right, we read about in Revelation 6. Death and hell came behind him, and this is what the end of his rulership is going to really show its face. Death and hell. This is what's coming upon Babylon. This is what's coming upon that we're starting to see. This is what's going to happen in the the heating up of Jacob's trouble. All right, this is what's coming. I want to get one more here, and then I'll go ahead and try to close it out. All right. This is Second Ezra, back in Second Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 31. It says, "Even so, those days shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways." All right, look at that. The fields are gonna wax old. All right, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travail there through. You ain't gonna have people out here just lollygagging, driving around. Hey, we can go to the store. We can go get something to eat. We can go do this. What you want to go hang out at? All these things are gonna come to a halt. All right. When they shut this thing down again, it's gonna start, and it's gonna not. It's gonna probably. That might be it. You know, you may not be able to just have freedom to go outside like you usually do and go wherever you want. Especially the ones that haven't received that juice as of yet. All right, and they want to try to get this thing going much faster as it was, because it happened fast, and even Esau was surprised. So what is Esau going to do? He's saying, hey, well, we got a lot of these people juiced up, so we got to do something, because you got to think, whatever they receiving, they probably going to start seeing the effects of it more and more, and it's going to be more abundant, and you'll see it more. So they're going to have to do something soon to push and finish their plan. All right, their diabolical plan. You know, got to joke around, because Esau, hey, he's the damn devil. All right, so back in Second Ezra 16 and 31. All right, it says, "The virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. And the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine." All right, and you're gonna have them, like you say, when they are out there and warn and what have you. You can have some husband that's gonna have to leave the house to go find food or water, because you ain't gonna be able to just get water from anywhere. You got to think, when you got to go, you got to do something like that, because you ain't finna go no whole week or two without water. You're not finna go no 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, especially in how we live with life of luxury, conveniency. You ain't finna go weeks without food. You're not gonna be able to grow. A lot of people know how to grow food and prepare like that. Like I say, this is the life of consuming, baby. So this is gonna cause what? Famine. Like I said, the husband shall perish trying to find food. All right, because they were like, we're getting short. We got to do something. So I got to go out. Gotta go out in this world, get my gun with my 3 or 4 bullets left, and gotta go find food. Find something to drink, and I'll be back, honey. Lord will. They won't say, that's, through the Spirit, how about you, Malashai, we will eat. Men of the Lord will, a number part of that number, and the rest of the men that are pushing this word in truth, sincerity, and actually just have that faith and believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the true doctrine, the true understanding, and just have faith. Like I say, we're working out our own salvation, but through fear and trembling. All right. So, verse 34 says, "In the wars, their bridegrooms shall be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord." So, you're going to get this understanding through who? The men of the Lord. All right. You can't just get this from everywhere. That's why you have the people leaving the church, and people leaving the church getting bugged out because they can't find which way is up, the true understanding. Because they still despise what? The men that out here, I like to say, with the cloths on, with the table cloths on, and preaching, and get a job. That's brothers say that all the time, because that's something I've heard that before since I've been out there. Hey, y'all need to do something more constructive. Hey, we doing something that was for the being the first fruit. We want to be the ultimate. You know what I'm saying? Deliverance. We want to see that. We want to be a part of that. All right. Verse 36, 2nd Ezra 16 and 36. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. So we're not supposed to be following these idol gods. We're not supposed to be following this way, because like I say, now you're looking at old Fausch Dog and all these public figures talking about the juicing and stuff. They becoming like gods now. All right. We just had a big idol show. What on the 25th on so called January 1st, December 25th. All those were idol celebrations. The gods of this world. In Jeremiah 10, the Lord said, "Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at them." All right, roughly paraphrasing. So this is coming. We only just begun. The Lord told us about this. Okay, so to get to that, to get to the kingdom of heaven, we have to go through this, and we're gonna have Jacob's trouble. You're seeing it; it's just gonna unfold, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, get enjoy the, hey, enjoy the ride." If not, hey, we got to tough it out through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We'll be all right. We have that faith and believe. All right. So with that, call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Waha Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Yaki in pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.